Hello, Car Store here again. It's been nearly 3 months since my last video. Been very busy with my day job, but in the evenings I've been slowly working on a model that was heavily inspired by the Turin Cathedral bell tower. So I thought I'd just do a quick little tour of that model. Normally I work in the quad view, but for the display purposes of this video, I'm going to have the right side being a much larger vertical view here. And I'll bring my layers window over and turn off the cutters layer. So for those of you that don't know how Lightwave works, you can have these separate layers here, very much like Photoshop, and we can cut pieces out of other layers using another layer. So I like to keep a layer of just my cutting objects, and I'll keep them around until I'm finished with the model and then get rid of this layer. So the base I just threw in there for kicks and grins. This is not faithful to the real world bell tower by any stretch of the imagination. The bell tower actually sits on the ground directly and has no base, and it doesn't even have a front door. So again, I'm taking a lot of liberties here. This base was primarily just to test the LWCAD stairs feature and the LWCAD rounding feature. So I've got these edges very tightly rounded, in fact far too rounded in my opinion. If I keep this at all, I'm definitely going to redo it and not have as many polygons here. But I digress. The door was a fairly recent addition, just about a week and a half ago I've been working on this. Still needs a little more love and attention, but I did get a little extravagant here. If I zoom way in, this is actually modeled grooves. And I probably should just do a normal map when I do the texturing to get the grooves of the wooden planks in there. That would have saved a fair bit of work and certainly some polygons. But I've kept the grooves in there for now. And of the door handle here and the strapping for the hinges has also increased the poly count fairly heavily. So just moving up the tower. I don't know what the insides of the tower actually look like. For all I know, it's completely hollow. But in my model, I've built some internal rooms. And the idea is to actually put in some staircasing going up through these rooms until we reach the top. So we'll see how that works out. If that turns out to be too difficult, I'll probably just get rid of the rooms and just have a single staircase inside a hollow tower. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Lately, most of my work has been here in the top part of the building. So I recently added some balustrades and railings. In my photo reference material, I found out these balustrades need a little more work if I'm going to more closely match the real world. So we'll see if I get around to doing that this weekend. Inside this large area here is where the bells and their support structures are. And I've had a heck of a time trying to find some good photo reference for that. So I'm not too sure how I'll go about modeling that. And then lately, the last few days, I've been up here on the top part. I'm eventually working on getting the roof into place. The roof itself is pretty simple, but again, the photo reference material for this area is pretty scarce, and it's really hard to tell exactly what it looks like. To my best guess, the roof is actually supported on, well, if I were to say select these pieces here, and I'll just extrude them up like that. Basically, these corner edges support the roof almost like a tent top or something, and the rest is actually open air. That's what it looks like, but it's very hard to tell exactly what's going on. So I'm going to continue doing a little more research on that before I finish off the roof. One thing I did want to mention about Lightwave, some of the tools that I've forgotten about lately and I've kind of returned to. I've got a new sense of appreciation for them. The line pen tool helped me cut up this geometry and make it a much nicer and more symmetrical geometry rather than taking the Boolean cut n-gon and just triangulating it in Lightwave, which is very easy to do, but it produces some really ugly geometry. So instead I kind of cut it up myself and tried to stick as much as I could to building quad only geometry here. So if I bring my polygon stats window over, I'm at just over 90,000 polygons, and the vast majority of them are quads. The 8 remaining n-gons are actually those internal rooms. The floors and ceilings are the n-gons. So we'll see if that ends up staying or not. After I finish modeling in those stairs, they'll be quite different, and so I'm kind of saving that for the last. And I'm not fixing these remaining n-gons until then. So that's about it. I'm nowhere near done. Well, getting there. I'm getting towards completion. And then comes the fun part of UV mapping this beast. A lot of it is planar here, being basically a box tower here, but we'll see how that goes, and I'll do a video on that, I'm sure, and add that to the UV layout tutorial section of my channel. So I hope you found this interesting, and just kind of let you know what I've been up to. I haven't given up on 3D. It's just been very slow going lately. Thanks a lot, and please like or subscribe. Take care.